In this video, we're going to be taking a look at 45, 45, 90 triangles, which are a special type of triangle. And you'll notice there's a pattern with the 45, 45, 90 triangles. Across from the two 45-degree angles is going to be the legs, and the legs will always be the same length. Across from the 90-degree angle of a 45, 45, 90 triangle will be the length of the leg times 2. Now we're going to be solving for missing side lengths of 45, 45, 90 degree triangles. And our goal will always be to find what that missing value is, or that question mark. Because once we know that missing value, we can find all three sides of that triangle. Let's go ahead and take a look. Suppose we are given the triangle to the right. It's a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, so it's going to follow the pattern that we're given right here. Now we notice that the side we're given is 4, and it is across from a 45-degree angle. So we go back to our reference triangle, or the pattern we were given to begin with, which shows us that across from the 45 is that missing amount. And in our picture, we know that missing amount is a 4. Once we have that, we can find this side that is across from the other 45-degree angle. Well, it also has to be a 4. Once we know that unknown amount, we can just fill it in. It's a 4. Which means across from the 90 is that unknown amount times the square root of 2. In this case, our unknown amount was 4, so it's going to be 4 times the square root of 2. So here's one for you to try. I've given you a 45, 45 degree, 90 degree triangle to the right, and given you the pattern again on the left. Go ahead and find the missing sides of that triangle. Pause the video, work it out, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. So again, for this one, the 45-degree angle, or rather the side we're given, is a 5, and it is across from the 45-degree angle. That means across from the other 45-degree angle must also be a 5. And the reason we know this, again, is because if we follow the 45-degree angle across, we end up landing on our unknown amount. And since the unknown amount matches up with the 5 we were given, that means our unknown amount is 5. Again, the other leg is going to be exactly the same, and across from the 90 is going to be 2 times that unknown, or excuse me, 5 times the square root of 2, that unknown amount times the square root of 2. So here's a couple of examples that look a little bit different, but are going to still follow that same pattern. Both these triangles I've given you are still 45, 45, 90 triangles, even though they're not listed as such. And here's the reason we know why. If two legs are the same on a 90-degree triangle, that means it must be a 45, 45, 90. So that means these two angles must be the same, and therefore they must both be 45 degrees. So it's going to follow our pattern. The unknown amount, the unknown amount, and the unknown amount times the square root of 2. Well, since our unknown amount is 12, we know that this missing side, or x, must be 12 times the square root of 2. Let's take a look at this other example, the one to the right. Now notice again, it does not tell us that the two angles are 45 degrees. But since it's in a 90-degree triangle, and all the angles inside of a triangle add up to 180 degrees, that means both of these angles must be 45 degrees. Because 45 plus 45 plus 90 equals 180. So since it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle, we know it's going to follow the pattern. The unknown amount times the square root of 2, and the unknown amount for our two sides. Well, since 5 times the square root of 2 is equal to the unknown amount times the square root of 2, that means our amount must be equal to 5. And that means both of our sides must also be 5. Here's a couple for you to try. Go ahead and work them out, pressing pause, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. So again, this one's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Across from the 90-degree angle is our unknown amount times the square root of 2. And our two legs are our other two unknown amounts. So since 9 is our unknown amount, that means these two sides must be 9. All right, for the other one, across from a 45-degree angle is a 4, which means across from the other 45-degree angle must also be a 4, and across from the 90 must be 4 times the square root of 2.